Greetings and salutations and welcome to Cornish EXP. Now we are at the place where I work, which is Eastpool Mine National Trust. I'm looking a bit tired at the moment. I didn't sleep very good last night, you know. So, if you want to know anything about mining in Cornwall, then I highly recommend you pay a visit here. It's very educational. If you don't know anything about mining or steam engines or anything like that, this is the place to come to have a brief description on Cornish mining. There also is other places in Cornwall where you could visit, such as Gevor Tin Mine. It shows all the processing side of it. They've got all the shaking tables and buddles still in the actual process house, which is very unique because there's not many left in Cornwall now. There's also King Edward Mine, which is situated just outside of Campbell in a place called Troon, and there is Levant. And if you're looking at, if you want to look at preserved railways, then if you know me by Facebook or you've been following me on YouTube, you'll know that I have got something to do in a fairly big way to the Helston Railway, and you'll see that I clean the engine for them, and I do enjoy doing that a lot, and it's most enjoyable. I'm wearing my new flat cap today. The other one's covered in black oil from Kilmerston, which is unavoidable, to be honest. If you're interested, if you're a steam engine fan and you live in Cornwall, they are looking out for volunteers, so make yourself known, basically. There's guys on Facebook that you can contact, and they will, you know, as long as you join as a member, you're covered by the insurance, and therefore you can work on the railway, as long as you've got your orange high vis. Not like, no, I better not say anything on that. Now, I am in the boiler house at Taylor's site. This boiler house here was the boiler house for the winder, for the horizontal Holman's steam winder, and it was just through that door up there. And of course, when this was in operation, nobody was allowed to go into the boiler house, basically, because if those men were interrupted and they were in the process of winding, they could endanger the men in the shaft, like, you know. So that was kept at access to limited personnel. Now in here there was 2 Lancashire boilers, and they provided steam for that engine. And obviously this engine, these boilers, it's a bit like Kilmerston really. They would have been used on a daily basis. Excuse me, they would have been used on a daily basis, and they would never have got cold. The boilers would have been, the fire would have been dropped at the end of the day, and the next day you just light a fire, and within an hour you'd have steam again because the boiler would stay hot. And we've noticed that with Kilmerston. If we've had it in steam the day before, we don't necessarily need to do a warming fire because the engine's still warm from the previous day, so it only takes about an hour to get steam up, and when you get 50 on the clock you can move it, which is awesome. And I've learnt quite a bit, and I've drove the engine, and I've fired the engine. I'm really stoked about that, you know. Next year, 2020, we will have our own engine, whether it's a small scale, 1-inch scale, or a 4-inch scale. I am definitely having my own engine next year, because this year, for rallies for me, has been a complete washout. I've only officially done one, and it wasn't really a rally. I've done plenty of bits and pieces down at Helston, which has kept my hand in, and I thank James and Marcus and Ray and a few others beside that I've been able to keep my hand in this year, because if it wasn't for the railway, this year would be a steam drought for me, which would be unthinkable. Unthinkable. I couldn't even bear that. But yeah, so next year we will have a traction engine, whether it's coal-fired or gas-fired. I'm not going to give out too much. You guys that are friends with me on Facebook will know probably what the smallest one will be, and it is quite a nice engine actually, double acting as well. Whoa. And you can inject water. Now, if you can inject water, that's an engine. You know, that means you can keep it going continuously for 20, 30, even half an hour or more, like, you know, or even indefinitely. If you can inject water, and I dare I say it, gas is not really, ugh, I'd rather burn coal, to be honest, but beggars can't be choosers, can they, you know. So yeah, this is the roof of the compressor house. Compressor house, what am I talking about? Boiler house, what a diver. Right, we'll just go down into the flue and have a little look, like. Fred Dibner's been here. My idol. Big fan of him, even though he's not here now. Right, so we'll just go down into the flue, folks. Oh, spooky. So this is the flue where all the smoke would have came out, and this was a double flue, because where I am now, above me here is the chimney. Beauty, isn't it? The reason I say it's a double flue, oh, pardon me, is because that one there came from the winding boiler house, and this bit here connected in, as you can see it bends around, and that wall that's just there is the boiler house for tailors, and there was 5 Cornish boilers in there, which makes it unique. We'll just have a bit of a look. Remains of a Cornish boiler here. This one is very old indeed. We think it dates back to Trevict sort of time. This is the boiler house. These are the beds to the original boilers for tailors, which is right there. So we'll just head back. Of course, if you want to volunteer for the National Trust, we are looking for volunteers here. Outside tour guides, guides in tailors. I do that myself as well. I volunteer here, and non-paid staff as well. The door's shut. Oh no. Scheiße. Are we going to get out? Yes! Right folks, so this is coming to the end of the video now. So we'll just walk through into the AV room where the former Holman's winder was, because I've still got a few jobs to do before I sign off. Good morning, Dave.